Hello guys, hope you're all alright and welcome to my first ever podcast. So I know there's been speculation for quite a few months now, quite a few teasers about my podcast, and today's the day I finally introduced it to you guys on the channel. So I don't have a name for the podcast yet, I'm still thinking of one at this moment in time, but when I get a name for it I will tell you guys. But yeah, today's my first ever podcast, and in the podcast today I'm going to be talking about three things. I'm going to be talking about coronavirus, Fall Guys with the games on PlayStation 5, and then I'm going to talk about my YouTube channel and why I get hated on. So I'm going to stop talking now guys, and I hope you all enjoy my very first podcast. So how long do you reckon the coronavirus is going to go on for then?
I mean, like, it could go on for, like, an extra year or two. Like, you don't know. Like, it could be just become, like, a common illness that you just get.
It depends though, because if they get a vaccine, like, it's not going to stop people being immune to it. It's just going to, like, it's obviously going to, like, save people's lives, but people are still going to get it. I don't think it'll ever fully go away. It'll still, like, always be a thing, but like there'll become a point where it's not as bad as it actually is now.
Yeah, but I do feel like they are kind of, like, over-exaggerating a bit, because I saw something, like, in the past that they were classing every death at a certain time as a coronavirus death.
Yeah,
when
I
it
mean,
could have been, like, a murder.
Yeah, because the thing is though, like, you don't know what to believe, do you? Because sometimes with the media, like, they're quite selective, the media. They'll show you certain things and other things you want to hide from you, they won't show you. So, like, for a long period of time, I didn't think the coronavirus was never a thing. I always thought it was a thing. I just didn't think it was that bad. But I feel like the main thing I've, like, clocked onto is, like, the symptoms are, like, if you lose your sense of taste or smell, and then if you lose your, if you get, like, a new or persistent cough or something like that. But it's a bit like they're the most common symptoms for other illnesses in winter. So to me, I kind of feel like they've said they're the symptoms on purpose, just so when everyone starts getting, like, ill now in winter and that, they're all going to start thinking it's coronavirus straight away.
Exactly, because, like, a cold, you get a blocked nose and you, like, it stops, like, your smell and all that as you get a blocked nose. So, and then people might think, oh, that's coronavirus. Then you just get, like, a cough or a temperature. People just think it's the coronavirus immediately at this time.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day as well, like, when it comes to, like, following the rules and stuff, like, obviously I'm off school now for 2 weeks, so I'm just doing the decent thing and staying in for 14 days. It's not that hard, because sometimes people, like, don't think the bigger picture, like, at least you're not dead and at least you're not actually at it, you know what I mean? So, but, like, I hate it when people have got this attitude that are like, oh, I'm gonna live my life, I'm gonna go out and see this person, I'm gonna go out and do this and do that. But, like, what people don't really think about is, like, our ancestors, some of our, like, grandparents, they got asked to go and fight in the war. We're just getting asked to stay at home for a couple of weeks. So I just hate, but what gets me is the people who are moaning about the virus and that are the same people that keep going out and breaking the rules and that.
And it's like, they're saying they want to go out, like, loads. They're saying, like, oh, I don't care about this, but they'll regret that instantly when they get it, and they're spreading it onto their parents, their grandparents.
Yeah, but I think a lot of
mates.
people are being too naive as well, because, like, young kids like us, and even some adults as well, are just as bad. They're thinking, like, oh, I can't get it, and if I do get it, I'm not going to die, so it's fine. Well, not really, because you're spreading it around and you're spreading it on. But people just think it's old people that die from it. Not really, because there was some 13-year-old who did die from it in London. Obviously, he probably had underlying health conditions, but there is, like, more vulnerable people than just people, like, that are old and stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly, and, like, apparently, like, younger people, they can be carriers of it, which means, like, someone could have it right now and not know about it, but spread it onto, like, the, like, grandparent, and they'll know about it and they'll get actually ill off it. But, like, with you wouldn't get ill off it.
Yeah, and it's just, like, as well, obviously, like, I think the rules that they're doing, they're pretty, like, they're a bit confusing, and I don't want to realise it, because one week they're saying one thing, then the next week they're saying another, then they're saying what they said in the first week. It's just confusing, but I don't know if they actually know that it's that confusing to follow.
Exactly, but what I don't get is, like, Boris Johnson said pubs are closing after 10, and what I don't get is, like, why just 10? It's not like the coronavirus is going to come out at 10 o'clock.
I mean, I think he's done that just so, like, I get what you're saying, but I think he's just done that so people, like, can't go out and stay out till, like, 4 in the morning getting pissed and staying out, like, dead late. Because if you think about it, if people did go in at 10, but they'd usually stay out till 4, that's an extra 6 hours that they can catch or spread that virus. So
Yeah,
that's one way to look at it.
But like, it's weird to think about this. Like,
I mean, like, if you told me, like, in January this year that all this was gonna happen and I'd have like 6 or 7 months off school, I'd have said there's no way. Like, I don't think anybody, like, I'll be honest, when I first heard about it in China, when it first started there, like, I didn't laugh as in like, oh, it's funny people are dying, but I just kind of laughed off at it because it was in China. It wasn't a big deal to me. Then obviously someone got it in the UK, and before you know it, it's everywhere. So
exactly, like, this will probably be like the biggest thing that'll happen in our life. Like, we've probably missed out a fair bit of our life, but like, there's not much you can do about it.
no, I mean, it could be a lot worse. That's what we've always got to think about. It's just
Exactly.
like, I think what gets me as well is them people that are like, they think it's gonna end in 2021. Like, they think just 'cause it's a new year, that's it, it's done with. But people actually need to start getting a bit real. Like, this is gonna be around for like the next year. We don't know. It could be 1 year, 2 years, 5 years. You don't know. But like, I think people just need to stop thinking like, oh, when 2021 comes, it's a new year, fresh start, and that. Because in a way, it's a bit crap to think about, but this is almost like the new normal for us. Wearing masks all the time when we go out, social distancing, rules changing all the time. You know, school's not the same either. It's just a mess at the minute.
Innit? And like, well, when do you think a vaccine's gonna come out? Because I remember like people saying in March it'd take around a year for a vaccine to come out, so that'll be in March 2021. So when do you think it'll come out?
I don't know, like what you gotta think about is though, do you really need a vaccine? Because people are getting it and then just getting better from it. Like, Pogba had it, didn't it? And now he's playing in United team again. What's that all about?
Yeah, true. Like, yeah, exactly. So it's almost like you could be like the vaccine. So you, like, say I get it and I don't pass it on to anyone.
Yeah.
And I get better from it. That's me getting rid of one part of that coronavirus.
I mean, I think with like the COVID as well, I can understand like why people think it's bollocks, and I did think it was bollocks for a long time. It's not that I've changed my mind now, it's just obviously cases have started going up again and stuff like that. I just don't think it's obviously like as bad as they're making it out to be.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I understand that like people are trying to just like I feel like people might be doing it to make us like be safer.
Yeah.
But like they are I feel like they are making it out to be worse than it actually is.
I mean, to be fair though, like, people who've actually had relatives die from it, I can say this being honest now, I actually don't know how bad it is, because I haven't had it myself, and none of my family members have died from it yet, and I'm saying yet because they actually still could. But it's like, the people who have like had relatives die from it, they've really opened their eyes and gone, shit, this is real, we need to follow the rules and do what we're being told and stuff like that. But then other people that just like, oh, I'll live my life and go out and do this, I don't care, I'm not listening to any rules and that. They've not had anyone die from it, so they don't really realise how bad it actually might be. So in my opinion, it's how people see it from different points of views and that.
Yeah, like as I said, like, as soon as that person that wants to live their life, as soon as one of their grandparents get it or they get it, they're gonna regret that for a long time.
Yeah, I mean, it should. I mean, if anything, this whole coronavirus has shown like just how selfish. Like, I'll admit, every human being is selfish. I've been selfish. You've been selfish. Everybody's selfish. But there's lines, isn't there? And then you've got them people that are just ridiculously selfish, like they'll just do anything. And I think with anything, this coronavirus, it's shown just how selfish some people actually are, and like how inconsiderate people can be.
Yeah, like don't get me wrong, people can be selfish. Like, we all will be at some point.
It's just a human nature to be like greedy and selfish.
Exactly. Like, people don't think about like others saying like, because let's say I went out and I was being selfish, and then I went to school, pass it on to you, and you could pass it on to like your parents, your grandparents.
Yeah, because the likely thing is, if one of us gets it, we're probably not going to die, but that's not the point, is it, at the end of the day, really? It's about not spreading it and that.
Yeah, but what I don't get about this track and trace is that it can almost go on forever. Because say if I have it and you've been near me in school, you'll have it. You'll pass it on to some of your mates. You'll pass it on to your dad, to your mum, and then your mum's work. And
that's really true though, because what I didn't understand with that is it's where you draw the line between, right, that person couldn't have passed it on to that person. Like, it's where you draw that line, and it's like a forever going sequence of, right, you've been near that person, but that person was near that person, and that person was near that person. It's like, where do you qualify between what isn't being counted as being near that person enough to get it? Do you know what I mean? Or potentially could have passed it on.
Exactly, but
just doesn't really make sense. It's just all madness, to be honest, but it's not really affecting my life massively, obviously. It's just like, it's like, when is it going to come to an end? That's what everyone's probably thinking.
Yeah. Right, so the PS5's coming out in like mid-November. So like, what do you think of it?
I'm pretty excited. Like, I think in what's been like such a bad year, it's actually been one of like the main things to look forward to, and I'm pretty excited to get it because obviously, like, one of the main things I'm excited about is, like, for my channel, streaming on it is going to be so much better now, because with the new camera, the PlayStation 5 camera, you get a automatic green screen with it, so it doesn't matter if my background's like purple, orange, black, grey, whatever, I'll just get a green screen, like, whatever. So that's really good, that. And in terms of making videos as well, that won't be too much different. I'll probably be similar, but yeah, I'm just really excited to get it, play the new games in it, stuff like that, you know.
Yeah, like, I feel like the streaming and recording quality of the new PlayStation will be like well good, and I feel like the new like game quality, the new games, it will be like sick as well.
I mean, I will admit, like, I'm not really into the whole Xbox versus PlayStation wars. Like, I'll make jokes here and there, but I don't proper go full on with it, do you know what I mean? But one thing I will say is I do feel like PlayStation have copied Xbox a little bit with the controller, because if you look, it's like, it's not the exact same, like the button layout's different and all that, it's just like the actual shape of it is similar to the Xbox one, and it like it's a bit more chunkier and that. I think it does look nice though.
Like, I feel like I'll be honest, like, in opinions, Xbox and PlayStation, that's up to you which is better. Like, I play on Xbox, but for you, I think the PlayStation is better because, one, it can stream on YouTube, and Xbox can't do that. Two,
yeah, true,
you can record clips with your voice behind it. Like, Xbox can record clips, but you can't have your voice in it. And I feel like it's just like all around like better streaming quality for stuff like that.
Yeah, what would you say at the minute is like the most favourite game that you've got on your Xbox?
Well, what I'm most looking forward to is around, like, I don't really have a favourite game at the minute, but what I'm most looking forward to is FIFA 21.
Yeah,
and the new
me
Batman
too.
Game.
Yeah, the FIFA 21 though, like, with FIFA, like, it's almost like it's just something to look forward to every single year, and I mean, I've pre-ordered it, so that's coming on October the 6th, I think. So, but good thing about getting like new games like that is though it opens up a lot of opportunities to make new content on my channel. Obviously, pack openings, goal montages, just stuff like that, you know. I mean, like with Rocket League, I'd probably say that was my main game, like from I'd probably say March until about July, August kind of time. It was a really good game, and that it's just obviously when we was playing it every day, like day in day out, playing it for like 4 hours a day, sometimes 5, it just gets a little bit repetitive, doesn't it? Like, because obviously you're playing it loads and loads, but we kind of got to the point of realizing that we got to Diamond, which is good and everything. It's just that next step to the next ranks, it's such a big step. Like, we would have to play for like another 6 months to get to that level. But obviously, like with me, like I don't just want to play one game all the time. I mean, I say that, but I've kind of turned into that type of guy where I will just play one game all the time. Like, for example, now with Fall Guys, I'm just in love with it, and I'll definitely will still be playing that on PlayStation 5. But Fall Guys, obviously, it's like the new Fortnite in a way. Obviously, it probably never will be as big. I don't think there'll ever be a game that will be as big as Fortnite at its peak. But obviously with Fall Guys, you've got the brand new season 2 coming out, which looks really good, and I just really enjoy Fall Guys because I can't remember the last time I looked at a game that like actually looked, no, that actually is as good as it is that it looks on the trailer. Like I've seen some games on trailers in the past and I'm like, oh, that looks sick, that. Then when I actually play it, it's not really that good. But with Fall Guys, it's just a really good game. I mean, I know it's easy for me to like, oh, say it's sick and all that when I'm sat there with like 176 wins, but that just adds fun to it. Like I don't really get bored of playing the game, because when you're winning that much, it's not boring. Like it's actually really fun.
Exactly, and like when like a certain, like say you usually just play Fall Guys at the minute, it's not like you're bad at it though. You're showing that you're actually good at it. Like 170 odd wins.
Yeah, I mean, the thing, well,
2 months.
Yeah, like in 2 months, that's really impressive, obviously. But because I'm really good at it, like I think I made about 2 videos like with a compilation of all my wins. If I was never that good at that game, them 2 videos would never have came out. So Fall Guys itself, it has open content for my channel, but my actual skill for the game has also done that as well. It's a bit like a 50-50.
Yeah, exactly. But like, it's just like with Fall Guys, I think most people on your channel can tell that you're very good at that.
Yeah.
I've seen a few like streamers that have got like 200, 300 wins, but I don't know anyone personally that's got more wins than you.
Yeah, I mean, I hope with Fall Guys one day, like with Fortnite, I had the Fortnite World Cup in 2019, but with Fall Guys, like I'll admit, with a lot of games, personally myself, I have to play them for like a bit first to get, like at Rocket League, when I was playing in March, I was nowhere near the same player that I was in July. I was like a different kind of beast, but obviously with Fall Guys, I've just clicked with it. Like I'll probably admit that's only a game that I'm gifted to be good at, because there's no way I can be that good that quickly without it just not being like the luck of gift that I've got to be good at that game. But you know, like obviously with the amount of wins that I've got, I mean, to say what a good Fall Guys player is, I don't know, because I don't know if they ever will do like esports for it or like a World Cup, because I kind of feel like sometimes there's too much of the luck aspect in the game to judge what a good player is. So for me personally, I reckon the only way you can judge what the best players are is who's got the most wins. Because
yeah, exactly.
I can do a lot of the levels pretty clean. Like I'm really good at Hexagon, Slime Climb, Whirligig, just a lot of levels in general. But sometimes though, it's when like people push you off and just stuff like that. So it's kind of hard to say like what an actual good player is, and you know, stuff like that.
Yeah, like sometimes when you get eliminated, some stuff you just can't help, but like some you can, but there's not really any, like, apart from video proof, there's no proof to show how good a player is on there.
Like in Fortnite, you don't really say what a good, like I've got 300 solo wins, 312 I think. That's a lot more than a lot of players, but them players that don't have nowhere near 300 solo wins are like 10 times better than me at the game. So I think Fortnite is one of them games where you can't really judge a player by how many wins they've got, because obviously a lot of people just spend all the days in creative now sweating the balls off doing 90s all the time and box fights and 2v2s and stuff like that. So obviously with Fortnite, I do agree that you can't really, although it's impressive to have wins, you can't really judge a player off the wins, because if you're judging Fortnite players now and somebody saw me sat there with 300 plus solos, they think I was one of the best at the game, but I'm not, I'm shit. So I think with Fortnite you can't really judge people like off how many wins they've got.
Yeah. Do you think Fall Guys will be coming out, do you think like matchmaking will be coming out on Fall Guys?
If custom matchmaking came out on Fall Guys, I actually think I'd cry of happiness, because that's just my world put into one. That like, and obviously as well, I'm not trying to big myself up here, I'll just say how it is, because I'm really good at the game, people are going to want to try and beat me and win the games and not let me win and stuff like that. So yeah, it'll give people something to play for, so they can go around and say, no, I beat HHD. Like, I'm not some massive celebrity with millions and millions of followers, but you know, when people see I'm that good, they're going to want to beat me. Because on Fortnite, people stream snipe me, not because I'm good at the game, they just do it to try and wind me up. But it doesn't wind me up because obviously I don't care that much about the game. I don't care if I lose, win, get stream sniped, whatever, it doesn't bother me. But whereas with Fall Guys, I probably would be a bit more bothered if I did get people stream sniping me. I mean, I don't know how you could actually stream snipe in Fall Guys though, but they'll probably find some way, like pushing you and pulling you off maps and, you know, shit like that. the thing for me is though on YouTube, like obviously I know hate's like always a thing and it's always gonna be a thing, but if you're actually doing YouTube expecting to get no hate whatsoever, then it's just not for you. But what I don't get for me personally is like, I'm not the best YouTuber of all time obviously, but I'm not the worst, but I actually don't understand why I get so much hate. And I think this year, even though it's been probably the best year in terms of growing my channel, and probably one of the best years of all, well I would say 2019, it wasn't the best year, but it was the most significant year and important year of my channel. Obviously that year I became like HHD and changed up my content and stuff like that, but this year like my channel's grown so much, and obviously I would never have got 10k if coronavirus didn't happen. But anyways, with people hating, I don't understand why, because obviously on Fortnite now, there's a lot of these fake streams that go around and all you get is them is like, oh, spam effing chat, and you know, just stuff like that, and people like moan and complain about them like fake streams and that they're like looped and pre-recorded and just stuff like, they're just scamming kids basically. And I actually do legitimate streams like every single day. I've never done a fake stream in my life because I just don't personally see the point in it. So I do legit streams, that's one thing that I'm doing really good. And as well, I've never done any content that's offensive or negative, like for example obviously with the whole Logan Paul thing, you went into a forest and filmed a dead body. Like I've never made any sort of content like that, yet I still get so much hate. Now for me, I can only, like, no one's told me any other reasons why. Like I've asked people, do I do something I don't know about, but literally all my subscribers tell me, and they agree with what I say, the main reason people hate on me is because they're jealous that I've got a lot more subscribers than they could ever get. But I think what also eats them up inside, and well, this is why they're really so negative towards me, these haters, is because they know they could never work as hard as I've worked to get this, because they just want to sit back and go around self-promoting on people's channels saying, oh, my dog just died, raid me, and stuff like that. You know, they don't actually realise what it's like to actually work hard and get something. Like, hard work pays off, and I can tell you that I've proved it does. I worked my ass off for 6 months straight, banging out videos every day, streaming every single day, and I got 10k. But through in getting that, I have had a lot of hate towards me. Now personally, I can only put it down to the fact people are jealous of me.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I'm not a YouTuber, but I don't think there's a perfect, like, I don't even think there's one perfect YouTuber. Like, even someone with millions of subs, I don't think they're perfect.
No.
But like, I feel like every like YouTuber is gonna get hate, but I feel like some people get it more than others. Like, hate shouldn't, no one deserves hate, but I feel like people get it more than others, and I feel like the ones that are getting it more than others are like the better YouTubers, because they're jealous of you, and they're gonna want to make you annoyed to get a reaction out of you because they're jealous of you.
Yeah, I mean, in a way, and I don't think a lot of people look at it like this, but if you're getting hated on, that's actually a good thing, because people are jealous of you and they wish they was where you were.
Exactly.
Because Kobe Bryant once said, people don't hate on the good ones, they hate on the great ones. So, if anything, that's just, I won't say necessarily fueling my ego, but when they hate on me, that's just telling me that what I'm doing is good and I should keep doing it.
Exactly. And you're not, and as you said, you're not one of them YouTubers for like, 15 likes and the match will start, 15 likes and the match will start.
Yeah, like even small things like that, I don't even do that, I just stream and get on with it.
Like, yeah, you won't do any of that. You'll literally put code in the chat and then maybe wait five minutes or so and then start the match and just get on with it.
Yeah, but obviously, like, with TikTok as well now, I do see a lot of hate on there, and I personally think YouTube's a lot of a better community than TikTok is, but I feel like sometimes just with hate in general, a lot of stuff that gets thrown around is dark humour. Now with YouTube, you can't just say like everybody's got to come on and lick your ass and say positive things. You know, you can't be like that. You've got to accept there's gonna be negative things said, but it's where you draw that line between what's being constructive criticism and then what's just being pure nasty and hate, and it's where do you qualify what actually that is. It's a bit of a hard one to do though, because I feel like personally you never know how bad something is until you've been through it. So obviously with all this dark humour stuff, with dark humour is where you draw the line. Now personally, I'm not a snowflake, I can have laugh and take a joke, but sometimes people just take it too far, and obviously like for example, I saw people making jokes about 9/11. But if someone has lost a relative to 9/11, they're not going to find that funny at all. They're just going to think that's absolutely disgusting, which they're right in thinking because they've been through it. So all these people who like to take the piss and make jokes and that, they don't actually realise how bad it is sometimes. And personally myself, I will never say things for sympathy. This is one thing about me, as Harrison, as a person, not as HHD. I'm never a person that will say things to get attention, to get sympathy. I wouldn't call myself an attention seeker. I just say things how they are. So I will never come out and say, oh, I'm doing this, you should all feel sorry for me and that. I'm not that type of person at all. I'm never fishing for sympathy. But obviously some people do come out and say like, oh, I'm gonna kill him. One thing I really disagree with and doesn't sit right with me is when people come onto your live stream and they're there saying, right guys, I'm gonna end it all, I'm gonna kill myself.
Yeah.
You just don't do that. Like, honestly, if you really felt that bad, you won't just be saying that to get a lot of attention. You go and seek some help. But people who do that, they just give themselves away because it's just one of the worst things you can do. It's quite an insensitive thing to say as well, because somebody watching that live stream might have lost somebody to suicide and they're just there talking about it like it's nothing. And I feel like sometimes when people say they kill themselves, like, nobody actually realises what a person goes through in their life to get to that point of feeling that low in themselves. Some people just say it really lightly and throw it around like it's nothing, and they're really insensitive with it, and that's why when people say it on stream, I just blatantly ignore them. Like, if they said it to me in like an actual reasonable way, then yeah, I would respond and go, are you okay mate, what's going on and that. But when they just come out and say I'm gonna end it all, and I just don't see the point in saying that.
Yeah, exactly. It's like people on social media, they'll have one argument with like the mate and then fall out, and then they'll say like they're gonna kill themselves and all that, and like, oh, I hate life, I'm depressed. But like, depressed isn't crying for a day. Depressed is where like you're sad but you're trying to cover it up, pretending to be happy because you don't want anyone to know about it.
Yeah, I mean, the thing with me is as well, like, when people hate on me, I've got a really good way of dealing with it. I just laugh in their face and take the piss out of them. But what people need to realise is not everybody might be as strong as me mentally, you know. When people are getting constantly hated on every single day, day in, day out, just getting put down, yeah, they're going to get upset by it. You're going to hurt the feelings and that. And it's alright people going, oh, look at you, you snowflake and that. But until you actually have been in them shoes, you've got no idea what it's like. Now with me, yeah, I don't really like some of the hate comments that I get, but I don't show them that. I just laugh in the face and tell them to piss off, because when people hate, well, luckily I've got a really loyal community in me. I've got actually a really lovely community, but I've had to ban, like, it's ridiculous to say this, but I've had to ban like 300 people from the channel. That's 300 haters and 300 like nasty negative people. But I have got a really kind community and they do stick up for me when someone hates on me. But with me, obviously, I can deal with hate pretty good. It's just in terms of other, I mean, the biggest thing for hate with me is I deal with it well because I know they're hating on me because they're jealous and they want to be me. That's why I get a kick out of it. But other people just get hated on, man, just for being themselves sometimes. But like, I could understand if I got hate if I was being a dick and that, making like offensive content, doing fake streams, scamming people. I completely understand that. But I simply just get hated on because people are jealous. That is the only thing I can put it down to.
Yeah, exactly. But like, the thing is with this dark humor, like, someone can draw the thinnest line and like not take a joke, but then there's someone that can have a massive joke and not be bothered. But it's like, it's different for everyone. Like, there's not like a certain line where as soon as you go over it, it's wrong. It's just like it's like who you're saying it to is the thing.
Yeah, I know what you mean, yeah.